If your dog doesn't listen to you off lead and you want perfect recall like this, then I'm going to tell you the 3 most important things you need to know.
Sully, stay. Now, the first point that you need to understand when it comes to recall is, does your dog actually understand recall? And the principle is helping your dog understand that either with a command or, like I prefer, with a whistle, your dog knows when they hear that they need to get to you as quickly as possible. And when they get to you, only amazing things are going to happen. And what that needs to look like is something like this. Sully, good boy. So they come to you enthusiastically excited because they know that every time they come to you, good things are going to happen. And that's the essence of point 1. Does your dog understand recall? If they don't, we have to start there and build that foundation before we move on to step 2 and step 3.
Now, after you've taught recall, the next point is the reason your recall either works or doesn't. And if you want perfect recall, you have to fully grasp this first. You have to understand that dogs are motivated by many things. Yes, one of them being you and the rewards you have at your disposal. But your dog also may find chasing squirrels very motivating, playing with other dogs very motivating, or chasing that cyclist very motivating. So when we're out in the real world and your dog is off lead, all of those things are what we call competing motivators. And in those real life situations, your dog will always choose the thing that motivates them most. And unfortunately, these things that motivate them are often baked into our dogs from their breed, genetics and temperament. So a high drive working line Labrador, like mine, Uncle Sully, is always going to be highly motivated by birds off in the distance. A dachshund is going to be highly motivated to find the scent of ground burrowing animals. A Doberman is going to be highly motivated to scare off unfamiliar people or animals, unless you know how to tip those scales of motivation in your favour.
Now, the third point is where the magic of recall really happens. Up. Good boy. But before we dive into point 3, I think it's really worthwhile talking about that recall is a complicated process, and to absolutely master recall, yes, these 3 steps are incredibly important, but we can go into much more detail about those 3 steps so that you can truly master it yourself at home. And to help you do that, I created a completely free rapid recall course. We delve into in more detail, and we also give you practical demonstrations. And in those practical demonstrations, paired with all of the tips and tricks I'm going to teach you, is exactly how you will be able to have perfect recall yourself. So if you want to check out that course, it's completely free of charge. There'll be a link down in the description box below. But let's get on to that third point.
The third point is where the magic of recall truly happens. And that's tipping those scales of motivation in your favour no matter what. And to do that, we have to do a combination of raising your motivation levels and, where possible, decreasing the motivation levels of all those pesky competing motivators. But there's good news. Both are entirely possible, and I've helped thousands of people achieve just that and have a whole host of really fun games and training you can do to achieve it. A bunch of them are included completely free of charge in my Rapid Recall course. But the biggest mistake I see people make in this department is not making coming back to you an awesome experience. If you want your recall to work, your dog needs to love coming back to you. They need to know that every single time they do, something good will happen. Whether that's a treat, whether that's playtime, some physical praise, or at least a nice bit of verbal praise. But ensure that whether you're out on a walk or simply in your own home, if your dog comes to you, then you make that a great experience for them 100% of the time.
So guys, remember, recall is an ongoing task, and it's something that if you put those steps into action, you'll have huge success. But if you want to learn more, that's exactly what that completely free course is all about. The link will be in the description box below. Can't wait to see you there.